We've been seeing now a few different times what's called a CDI compass, a course deviation indicating compass. And we've seen how your information page on top of the map screen will turn to the CDI compass whenever you're navigating, and the navigational compass will change from kind of a plain compass to the CDI compass whenever you're navigating as well. And it doesn't matter whether you've used a Sight and Go function or a Where To function. Anytime you're navigating, you'll see that CDI compass. The parts of the CDI compass are the arrows, the red and blue arrows here that indicate the direction to your desired destination. So whenever those are pointing straight up at the top of the GPS, it means you're facing toward the desired end point. And that's very similar to how you would navigate with a traditional navigational compass. This middle portion of the red arrow is actually the course deviation indicator itself, the CDI itself. As you move off the original planned course, the center portion of that line deflects itself off of center to the left or to the right. When that line moves to the left or right, it indicates that you're off your course to the left or right, and the further off course you are, the further that line will deflect. And you can tell how far off course you are by looking at the scale up in the upper corner here and the dots that are at a perpendicular line to the CDI. Each of those dots indicates a certain distance, which is indicated by the scale. So in this example, I'm 1 dot over from center, which means I'm a quarter mile off course. Using the plus or minus keys as a zoom on the compass really doesn't change the compass, it just changes what the distance is between the dots in the scale, and therefore the relative location of the red line may change. For most of our overland searches, you're not really going to need much different of a scale than the quarter mile scale, because in order to use up all of the dots available here, you'd have to be more than a mile off of course, and we hope that won't be the case. So chances are you'll be able to keep it just at the quarter mile scale. Now if your only goal is to end up at the end point, you don't necessarily care how far off course you are, other than it's going to take you longer to get there, or you might not be going in the planned location. If your only goal is to end up at a given waypoint, you can just readjust yourself and keep moving toward the waypoint. After, for example, you had to get around an obstacle like a swamp or a real thick area of brush or a body of water, you can simply just navigate around that obstacle and then head toward the waypoint once you've cleared it. If, however, we're operating in like an overland search and your goal is to search your designated line, if you clear the obstacle and then just head towards your point, you may have missed a significant amount of area and therefore missed the target that we're looking for. So in that case, we'll want you to stay on course as much as possible. And if you did have to come across an obstacle, once you cleared the obstacle, you would want to stay as close to the obstacle as possible until you got back to your desired course. Then the red line of the CDI portion of the red arrow lines back up with itself and you're no longer off course. Then you can turn your body, turn your GPS toward the desired destination and continue searching. That way you will have searched as much of the desired search line as possible.